So today, what we're going to be really diving into is, we're going to walk you through the Power Platform and where it sits in the Microsoft ecosystem. So, majority of companies these days use Microsoft Office, different applications. So your Teams apps, your Outlook. Uh, some people use Access still, Excel. So where does the Power Platform really sit within the Microsoft ecosystem? We'll focus on the core components, security and governance of the Power Platform, as well as learn how the Power Platform will help you stay agile in building solutions that move your business forward. We'll also take a look at the Power Platform, is how it's built from the ground up to work together with strong security, management, and compliance. After this presentation, if you guys want to follow up with us, you can do that through our sales team and specifically through Kelsey and Brian. So our agenda today is, first thing we're going to do is look at where the Power Platform sits within Microsoft Business Applications ecosystem. Then we're going to go into our executive overview of what, why, and how of the different components of the Power Platform. So if we take a look at the ecosystem, what you see on your screen right now is the actual ecosystem of Microsoft Dynamics, or Microsoft as a whole. First, we're going to look at Microsoft 365, which is all your business applications. So your Outlook, your Word, your Excel, your Power Platform, SharePoint, Teams. So all those core business applications that, probably 90% of companies right now are using one or multiple of these applications. But then we really dive into Microsoft Dynamics 365. So those core applications that your business utilizes to in the business ecosystem. So your marketing application, your field service, your finance, customer voice, supply chain, sales, customer service, project operations, and business central. Those are what make up the Microsoft Dynamics 365 applications. Then at the next layer, you have Microsoft Power Platform, what we're here for. So the Microsoft Power Platform consists of Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Virtual Agents, Power Pages, Data Connectors, AI Builder, and Dataverse. Later on in the presentation, I'll hand it off to Sowmya, and we'll actually dive in to each of those core applications. And all of this sits on top of Microsoft Azure. Within Microsoft Azure, you have 5 different modules of Azure, starting with cloud infrastructure, which gives you your storage and your app services, your custom development, your functions and DevOps, data analysis, Synapse Analytics, custom integration using machine learning and logic apps, as well as that identity and security and compliance components, which is your service bus and your Active Directory. So how do all these, the Microsoft ecosystem, really use the Power Platform? Well, if we take a look at the Power Platform and how it integrates with all the other applications, we can see that it integrates natively with Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform with Microsoft 365. Extends and customize with low code and no code. We also have the ability to extend Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform with Azure. The slide is showing you how easy it is, or not easy, but how all the different pieces of the Microsoft ecosystem fit together to form that business application for your entire business. If we take a look at the Power Platform as it sits in the middle of the entire ecosystem, we see that it's a low-code platform that spans Office 365, Dynamics 365, and standalone applications. It's a cloud-based software. It runs on Microsoft Azure within Active Directory, so your Azure AD tenant. It's licensed through Microsoft 365 and secured by Azure AD, and it's highly scalable. Microsoft platform is made up of Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Power Pages, and is supported with data connectors, AI Builder, and the Dataverse. It's available globally, and I'll pass it off to my counterpart, Sowmya, now to talk about the capabilities. Thank you.
Thanks, Riley. We have seen how Riley has shown us how Power Platform, Azure, and Microsoft 365 products are connected and can talk to each other as required very easily. So now let's go and look at the capabilities of Power Platform. So I think if at all you want users to act on data and drive the business processes, then we can use Power Apps, as well as if we want to automate the processes and then want power automate to act on behalf of users in case by triggering some data triggers, or in case of events, then you can use power automate. As well as if we want to analyze data that is captured through the apps, that's when you can use Power BI, and then you can embed a Power BI dashboard or a tile in a Power App, as well as you can embed a Power App in Power BI. So now let's move on and discuss in detail like what, why, and how we can what are the components of the Power Platform in detail. Dataverse. What is Dataverse? Dataverse is a heterogeneous storage that is the backend of data of Power Platform as well as the Dynamic 360 CE apps. And it is built on something called as the common data model. It has built-in tables. Why we should use Dataverse? Dataverse is built on top of Azure and is secured and is highly scalable, as well as it has built-in security model called as security roles, as well as column security profiles that provide enhanced security capabilities. As well as if at all you want to build any logic, without we even can do our validation, we can even do that without writing code by using business rules as well as real-time workflows. How, if at all you want to access the Dataverse data, we can do that either by building Power Apps on top of Dataverse, or by using data flows, or even when we are using Teams, the backend of data Teams is nothing but Dataverse. Power Apps. When it comes to Power Apps, we have two types of Power Apps. The model-driven apps, all the dynamic CE apps are nothing but out-of-the-box built-in model-driven apps as an example. And then we have Canvas apps, which are pixel-perfect apps. What are model-driven apps? Model-driven apps are data-driven applications with configurable UI. Model-driven apps, when to build model-driven apps? So if you have building a process like onboarding employee process or managing the sales or something like that, which are process-based apps, then model-driven apps will be the best fit for your business scenario. Why to use model-driven apps? Model-driven apps are natively responsive, as well as since they are configurable UI and views, we can fastly build the model-driven apps. And then all the data is stored in Dataverse, so that it is secured and encrypted. How? So you can either use one of the existing CE apps depending on your business process, or you can build from scratch a new model-driven app to meet your business requirements by modeling your data as well as building the forms and views. Next, let's move on to Canvas apps. What are Canvas apps? If at all you want to build a business app right from a canvas without having to write code by using something like a C# code, then the answer for you is build Canvas app. So when building the Canvas apps, it is something like you drag and drop components, like how you build a PowerPoint slide. Why we have to use Canvas apps? Canvas apps are supported in mobile, as well as if at all you want to connect to multiple data sources and surface the data in UI, then Canvas apps would be the option, because Canvas apps behind the scenes uses data connectors, and Microsoft has built-in data connectors, or if needed, we can also build a custom data connector, as well as Canvas apps use PowerFX based language. How to get started with Canvas apps? Either you can start from a template, or you can start from scratch, or you can directly build a Canvas apps by using a connector that is available for a data source. Next, Power Pages. So Power Pages are nothing but public websites that Microsoft has. We can build on top of Dataverse, and if at all you want your customers to access data without using a license of Power from Power Apps or Dynamic CE apps, then Power Pages would be the solution for you. And Power Pages is in the next version of Power App portals. Power Pages backend is Dataverse, and then Power Pages you can authenticate by some of the identity providers that already have, like Azure AD authentication, Azure AD B2C authentication, as well as we can use social authentication also, like Facebook authentication, LinkedIn, as well as Microsoft and Google. Why? Currently, everyone wants some self-service portals to surface knowledge articles or to create a customer request and so on. As well as Power Pages are based on progressive web apps technology, which is nothing but they are supported on all platforms as well as all form factors. As well as you can quickly build websites without having to have any license to be purchased from Microsoft for Power Apps or Dynamic CE apps. How? There are built-in templates that we have where you can build a Power Page website either by using one of the templates that we have, like a customer portal or a partner portal or self-service portals, or even you can start from blank. Power Automate. Power Automate is a workflow automation tool, and it leverages the data connectors that we have and Power Automate has cloud flows, which are nothing but the most common flows that are API based, or if at all you want to connect a cloud system to a on-prem system, then you can build desktop flow, which is nothing but robotic process automation, and then you can connect to any data source through Power Automate, either through triggers, actions, or RPA opportunities. Why? If at all you want to automate your business process through an automation, then Power Automate would be one of the tool you can look into. You can build complex logic through Power Automate, as well as you can retrieve data from multiple sources and simplify your daily life through automation. How you can build Power Automates? So through Power Automate, you can either build schedule jobs, or you can trigger Power Automate when some event happens, or you can create on-demand Power Automate, or you can even trigger a Power Automate on a button click. Data connectors. What is a connector? Let's talk about what is a connector. A connector is nothing but a proxy or wrapper on top of an API that lets your underlying service to talk to Power Apps or Power Automate or Logic apps. So Microsoft has a lot of people data connectors that are available to some of the applications like SAP, Salesforce, and so on. And it comes with certain triggers and actions that you could use when you want to use build integrations with systems like those by using data connectors either through Power Automate or Power Apps. So why to use data connectors? So if you don't want to get that, there will be many scenarios where we don't want to copy the data in the system where we are working with, but access the data from where the data is. That's when we can think of data connectors where it can integrate with multiple data sources. How? As I said, Microsoft has built-in data connectors for most of the systems that we have currently in the digital world. But if at all we don't have any connector that is Microsoft is providing out of the box, we can also build our own custom connector. Power Virtual Agents. Power Virtual Agents are nothing but low-code intelligent chatbots that assist users. So you can quickly build a chatbot even if you are not a data scientist using a Power Virtual Agent. And Power Virtual Agents are those bots which lets you answer questions for the customers or employees or visitors that come to your website or any service where you are using these bots for. Why? So there will be scenarios where we don't need manual intervention to help customers with. Like for example, if a customer comes on your website and asks what is the store hours, then it doesn't have to have a manual agent answer the question. That's when we can start using bots. And these Power Virtual Agents use a natural language to answer the customer questions. And if needed, they can, from there, depending on the answers, they can even route to a actual live agent to help the customer. How? So we can embed a bot either in a website or in Teams or in any mobile app, or if at all we want to embed a Power Virtual Agent on a portal where the conversation starts with a bot and transfer to a live agent, we can even do that through Power Virtual Agents. So what is AI Builder? AI Builder in Power Platform is a capability that provides AI models to optimize your business processes. So with AI models that are available in Power Platform, you can even recognize and extract data from unique data sources like images also. Why to use? So as said, you can extract and data from various data sources like images as just documents and so on. That will help us to analyze the sentiment analysis, as well as we can use AI models for OCR functionalities, which will let us to avoid manual tasks. How? We can use AI Builder through Power Apps and Power Automate by using the default actions that are available, or we can build our own custom actions using the AI Builder. An example could be like business card scanner, or we can extract information from a credit card using one of the OCR capabilities that we have in AI model and display the data on a form for the user who logs in. Let's discuss about the final component in Power Platform, which is Power BI. As we all know, Power BI is a data visualization and analytical tool. So we can use Power BI, BI for most of the reporting purposes, as well as we can use Power Queries to transform the data, as well as it has powerful visuals to display complex data to the end users. Why? So if at all you all the data, we can bring data from multiple data sources and store in Dataverse, and then provide reports and dashboards that will help the leadership team as well as end users to visualize the data. We can either use direct query with Dataverse connector to connect to the Power BI, as well as we can use the Power Apps and Power Automate visuals, as well as Power BI comes with some built-in AI capabilities. Oh, we can either start from templates or we can build any Power BI reports and dashboards from scratch.
Thank you, Sowmya. So if you have any questions about about the Power Platform and how it fits within the Microsoft ecosystem, definitely reach out to our sales team. We are excited to bring the Power Platform capabilities to your businesses. It is definitely a scalable product that will definitely enhance any type of business as well. So you can get started with the Power Platform by going to the Power Apps Introduction to Power Apps. We also have the Get Started with Power Pages, as well as Getting Started with Power Automate, Getting Started with Power BI, and Introductions to Power Virtual Agents. We also have the access. You also can get further information about the Dataverse, which is where all the data for the Power Platform is housed. You can think of it as a SQL server as a service, as the easiest way to think about the Dataverse. And then you have the AI Builder, which sits on top of the Dataverse to really power your customers. We have our Stoneridge blogs that have a lot of information about the Power Platform as well, that you can go out to and take a look at. Stoneridge also offers upgrades and migrations, technology services, project recovery, business intelligence, training on D365, support, as well as business technology roadmaps. We have a licensing team that can help with any licensing questions you may have. We have full implementation teams to help with the implementation of the Power Platform and the D365 applications, as well as Power BI, Power Virtual Agents, and anything that goes along with the Power Platform. We have a very skilled team. If you have existing applications that need integrations, we also have the team to be able to support that as well. And then our organizational change management team to make sure that we're not just focusing on the technology, but focusing on the people and the process to make sure that whatever we're going to be implementing, your people and are going to be honing in on that change.